All right, so that was the Aenyr custom magic set.
Mm-hmm.
Art and music brought to magic cards. Kind of cool, kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing it a lot more than, at first glance you might think like, oh, art and music, whatever. But, it was a fun set to play. So Abby and I will now give our final rating of the set as I kind of scroll through some of the cards here using our patented CATS rating system.
Meow.
Yep. So C stands for complexity. A stands for awesomeness. T is for translation. How well does it translate what it's trying to do into magic cards, the flavor. And S is overall satisfaction. So let's go ahead and start out with complexity here. C, for complexity, I'm going to give this set a B-.
Okay.
So a B-, so I'll explain. I think, it's really not that complex. The only things that, give it a little bit of complexity is like resonance. Resonance is a little complex because it's like you're exiling your spell and then you're adding effects and colors to other spells, and it's a little complex, but it's not that bad. And the funness and how flavorful it is, I think, really makes it worthwhile. But it's a little complex. And also there are a few one-of cards, like... where is it? Yeah, Puppetize right here. Holy crap! Like
yeah, I understand where they're trying to get with that, but like, it's trying too hard and it's really complicated.
And like Manifestation of Vitality, like there's all these just little things tacked on. Like whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you gain 3 life. I think it should just be one or the other. It
did seem a bit like it was a bit much.
Right, just a little complex, and things like that would just bring it down to a B for me. But honestly, this set has something that's kind of unusual. It has this kind of meta complexity. And what I mean by that is that, all the mechanics in the set, like Resonance and Virtuoso and Imaginarium, they all want you to play with a ton of different colors. Like, you look at this set and it's like, oh, I want to be playing as many colors as possible. But then when you actually play the set, the individual cards, they want you to be as aggressive as possible.
Well, basically. I think that's why I like this set so much.
Maybe. And because that's what we saw in every game. Whoever was being more aggressive was usually the winner,
Yes.
So it's kind of strange because on the one hand, play all these colors, play as many colors as you can. And in order to play a lot of colors, you have to be a slower deck. But on the other hand, you have Renown, which is a very aggressive mechanic, and you have a ton of aggressive cards just all over the place that reward aggression. So it just feels like it's a bit at odds with itself because there's that complexity where right on the bat you'd be like, oh, I want to draft lots of colors, but when you actually play the set, you're like, oh, I actually don't want to draft a lot of colors. So it's kind of complex in that way, bringing it down to a B-.
Yeah. I mean, it's for me, I'd say it's still at like a B level because the set to me, like in terms of complexity, it's at a level like it's not like my favorite and it's not like super easy for me to understand, but it is. I mean, because I'm not a seasoned player or anything, but I mean it is easy. It was relatively easy for me to understand.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's not the easiest, but it is easy.
For sure. All right, so let's move on to A, awesomeness. So for awesomeness, I'm gonna give it a C here.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a ton of cool stuff here, great art, great flavor and stuff like that, but let's just take a look at these 3 cards for a second. So we have Inspiring Ballad. Oh, look, it's a woman playing a violin. Okay. And then we have, what was that card? Yeah, Prismatic Harmony. Oh, it's
a woman playing a violin.
It's a woman playing a violin. Then we have, what? Oh, Nightmarish card. It's a woman playing a violin. And yeah, I get one that, there's only so many pieces of art out there that you're able to use that would fit the set well. And, there's only so many ways you can express these things through art and music. But when it all comes together, it makes the set kind of just lack diversity, and it all just feels kind of the same-ish.
Yeah, I mean, what about, a spider playing the piano or something?
Yeah.
Like it seems like in the set, and now that we're bringing this up, one thing that kind of takes away from this set, in my opinion, is that, the only characters playing instruments are human.
That's true. That would have been...
I mean, with the exception of Springleaf Drum, where there's, a rabbit playing with the drum or whatever, the beings playing instruments are pretty much only human.
Yeah, I mean, that would have...
Oh, there's a satyr. All right,
but
half human.
They're still humanoids.
Yeah.
I think you're right in that maybe having some animals playing instruments could have spiced things up.
Yeah,
quite
for
a
sure.
bit.
Or like an ogre or a deer or something.
Yeah, just, don't be afraid to have a little fun with it. It's a custom set, so you really got to do something to get people excited to play your set. It's not like a normal Magic set where people are just going to go to their store and draft whatever's currently available. I mean, if you want to get people to draft or play sealed or whatever with your custom set,
there has to be a little spicy.
Right, there has to be a little bit more spice to it.
Yeah, and if it's a clip art issue, I mean, worst comes to there's another woman with a violin.
Hey, there we go. But yeah,
like if it's a clip art issue, then I mean, like I'm sure that on DeviantArt or something, there's an abundance of at least cats playing pianos.
Sure. And one other thing that kind of brings down the awesomeness for me a little bit is that there's look, here we're scrolling through all of these great multicolored cards that do cool things like, you can return creatures to your hand with this guy and whatnot. You don't have time to do that in this set because you're going to be beaten down by 2-mana 3/3s and like 4-mana hastes and renowned, and you're just dead if that's what you try and do.
Yeah, it's very hard to get a grip of control on your opponent.
So that kind of lowers the awesomeness for me because there's a ton of really cool things that I'd like to do, but if I'm just not aggressive, or if I don't have a plan for my opponent's super aggression, then I'm just going to be dead. So, and unfortunately, that brought down awesomeness to a C for me. All right, moving on then to translation. How well does this set translate art and music? How well does it convey the flavor of art and music in Magic cards? I mean, I got to give credit where credit's due. I give it an A.
Yeah, translation was really good, I thought. Apart from, the violin and woman thing.
Right, but even then, I mean, that brings down the awesomeness, not necessarily the flavor of the set.
Exactly. I mean, the flavor of the arts and...
Right, just look at this card right here, like Persona Shift. I mean, that's beautiful, and like Pretentious Critic, all of these things, spot on.
Yeah.
The only thing that, and again, when we take a look at cards that have renown on them, perfect translation. Could not think of a better mechanic to have for like art and music. But at the same time, does renown accomplish what the set wants to do? Does the set want to be super aggressive? If so, then sure, renown's great. But if the set wants to be more multicolored focus and playing lots of colors, then as flavorful as renown is, I'm not sure if it belongs here. So again, translation, got to give it an A for there, but I'm not sure if some of the ways it was translated work the best for what the set wants to do. So
yeah.
All right, and then anyway, last is S for satisfaction. So satisfaction, an A here would mean that we want to draft it again right away. A B would mean, yeah, we definitely want to draft it again sometime in the future. A C would be, yeah, we draft it again if a friend asked us or something.
Yeah, kitchen table magic.
Sure. A D would be, I'd rather not draft it again even if a friend asked. And F would be never again, no matter what.
For the love of God, no.
And based on that criteria, I think I'm going to have to give Aenyr a C for overall satisfaction.
Okay, all right.
Because I really just kind of feel like the set is kind of at odds with itself. To me, it really reminds me of Gatecrash, where it's a super multicolored set, has lots of cool stuff going on, but when you play draft, what do? You have to be super aggressive or you're gonna die, which is just a little bit unfortunate. So, and now we get to the hybrid cards, and I think, the hybrid cards, honestly, are one of the reasons why the set, might not be as strong as it could be, because when you have hybrid cards, you think, oh, multicolor, cool, but in all honesty, hybrid cards make it easier to play only one or two colors, because instead of requiring, like Carnival Sentinel here, instead of requiring you to be black or red, you can either be black or red. So you can play this in a white-black deck, you can play it in a white-red deck, or whatever. So it makes it very easy to still get the bonuses for Virtuoso and things like that, without having to play a ton of different colors. So I think that's kind of unfortunate. I think the hybrid might be bringing it down in that way because, again, you still get all the bonuses of the set without having to commit to playing all the different colors.
Right.
So I think maybe toning down either the amount of hybrid in the set, maybe transforming them into true multicolored stuff, or maybe toning down the power level of the aggressive cards a bit, just to give players, a little bit of time to breathe and have time to cast their multicolored stuff, and do the fun synergistic things.
Right. And I understand where you're coming from with that, but I kind of disagree. I mean, as an aggressive player, maybe the set's goal is to be an aggressive set, And if it is, I mean, it comes through a lot, and honestly, in terms of satisfaction, I would give this a B.
Sure. I mean,
in my opinion.
That's the difference between you and me, is that, I see a multicolored set and I want to do lots of cool multicolored things, whereas you see a multicolored set that usually, ew, multicolored set, I want to beat face, and this is a multicolored set that lets you beat face, so
yeah,
that's
you
kind of
can
cool.
beat face. This is a set that shows you can beat face and be multicolored.
Yeah, but what it comes down to is that, this feels like Magic Villains to me, another set that we played before.
Yeah, that was a good set.
Yeah, it's fun and it's great, but having played this set just for a little while, I feel like we've already mastered it. I feel like we've, if we were to play it again, we just draft red-white or red-black and we destroy our friends.
Bam!
And while they try and do cool stuff with all their multicolored lands, and no, it's just not. They're just going to be dead on turn 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit unfortunate. So I think it depends on what the vision of the creator is. Do they want it to be a multicolored, playing all the colors that you can set? If so, it should be toned down a bit, the aggression. Or if they just want it to be an aggressive set, then yeah, maybe it's fine as it is. So it depends on what they want to do with it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's what we thought of Aenyr. Very fun set. Even if, that we feel a few things could be improved here or there.
Oh, yeah.
So be sure to let us know what you guys think of the set in the comments. And since, our opinions aren't chiseled in gold or anything. And as always, let us know if there's any sets that you want us to play and rate next. Because we're always on the lookout for new custom sets.
Absolutely.
All right. So we'll see you in the next set of videos.
See you then.